Hi everyone, my name is Samhita Mistry. I'm a product manager at Microsoft on the Security Service Edge team, and today we'll be doing a deep dive into Microsoft Entra Internet Access. And joining me from my team are Frank and Alexander. For today's session, we'll be doing a quick summary of Microsoft's Security Service Edge solution, which includes Microsoft Entra Internet Access, and then take a closer look at the core Internet Access capabilities, our deep Entra ID integrations, and visibility and performance benefits. But first, let's address some of the challenges our new SSE solution helps solve. With a rising number of internet resources and remote users to protect against cybersecurity threats, traditional network security approaches just don't scale to modern demands of a cloud-first, mobile-first world. The practice of hairpinning users and branch offices to on-premises security stacks often proves slow and inadequate for the dynamic needs of hybrid work environments. Siloed and poorly integrated security solutions further exacerbate these challenges, introducing complexity, risks, and unnecessary costs while leaving critical security gaps exposed. Furthermore, the fragmented nature of multiple security solutions hampers our ability to effectively defend against sophisticated cyber attacks, as legacy systems lack the capabilities required to address the expanding attack surface and evolving methods employed by cyber adversaries. Even if you solve for modernized access, you are still dealing with siloed solutions and end up managing your policies across multiple tools, spanning identity and network controls, exposing integration gaps that skilled attackers can exploit. Microsoft's SSE solution, which includes Microsoft Entra Internet Access and Private Access, provides a unified approach across identity and network security that transforms the ways you secure access. Our identity-centric SSE solution helps you secure access to any app or resource from anywhere, where you can enforce unified conditional access policies, all managed in Microsoft Entra. With identity and network access solutions working together, you can bridge the gaps across multiple tools in one place and configure unified identity and network security controls with conditional access in Microsoft Entra. Now, let's touch on a few unique elements and key differentiations of Microsoft's SSE solution. With this unified approach, we have collapsed the identity and network security controls fully together, extending the reach of conditional access and fully integrate with Entra, including ID protection and ID governance. And our integrations continue across other crucial zero trust pillars in the Microsoft ecosystem, such as Sentinel, Intune, and Defender. Our globally distributed proxy, powered by Microsoft's vast wide area network and its many points of presence, allows you to optimally route traffic, including Microsoft 365, to the point of presence closest to the end user, delivering a fast and consistent hybrid work experience. Plus, you can seamlessly acquire Microsoft 365 traffic and deploy side by side with third-party SSE solutions or traditional DMZ networks, allowing you the flexibility to choose where you route your internet and private traffic while receiving improved performance for your Microsoft 365 traffic. With Microsoft's SSE solution, we provide two flexible deployment options: device client model and branch network model. Our internet access and private access products share the same client that can be installed on your end user device. Our Windows and Android client is now GA, and support for macOS and iOS are coming soon. In the future, the client will be inbuilt into the Windows OS stack, and no additional agent will be required. And we will unify the SSE and Microsoft Defender client to reduce your deployment overheads. In addition to the client model, we also support IPsec tunnel-based connectivity from branch office routers to offer coverage for any on-prem devices that may not have the client installed. Support for Microsoft Traffic Profile is GA, and support for Internet Access Traffic Profile is coming soon. Now I'll hand it off to Frank for a closer look at Internet Access.
Thanks, Samhita. The new Microsoft Entra Internet Access model will modernize and transform the way you enact internet security controls and offer the peace of mind that security practitioners need and deserve. Additionally, it will make your end users happy by making their connectivity fast and seamless, a win-win for both security and productivity. With Internet Access, you can bring the power of conditional access to any internet and SaaS application or resource. This makes it easy to manage your policies through a unified zero trust policy engine. We have built a comprehensive cloud-delivered network security toolset to help protect against malicious internet traffic and other threats from the open internet. And Internet Access leverages Microsoft's global wide area network with points of presence close to the end user, resulting in improved performance. With our identity-centric secure web gateway solution, you can secure access to all internet and SaaS apps and resources, protecting your organization against internet threats. We have introduced network traffic as a new resource type in Conditional Access alongside cloud apps, providing a way to unify and centralize your network security policies with identity access policies. As a result, you can now seamlessly extend identity, location, risk, compliance, and device conditions to your entire network security stack, securing all data traffic to any internet destination. Very soon, we are also bringing continuous access evaluation to Microsoft Entra Internet Access. This will enable your network policies to adapt dynamically to changing conditions such as user risk scores, location, device compliance statuses, offboarding users, etc. It's an easier, more agile, and integrated approach to secure internet access for your enterprise built on zero trust principles. Let's dive into the conditional access controls for connectivity to our solution. We have global secure access as a resource pre-integrated within the fabric of CA. You have the flexibility to configure policies on any or all access to network connectivity by default, or to explicitly select the applicable traffic profiles such as Microsoft apps or the rest of internet traffic. Your users can access these resource destinations only after they acquire a valid token for our service. We provide zero trust coverage even for resources that do not support basic auth and conditional access natively. Now Samhita will show you a quick demonstration of universal conditional access and CAE.
Thanks, Frank. In this example, we will create a policy that requires a company-managed compliant device before getting any access to any internet resource. First, you will navigate to the Entra portal and open Protection, Conditional Access, Policies. Next, you create a new CA policy and select users or groups that this policy would apply to. Then, choose Resources, formerly Cloud Apps, in the Target Resources box, and select the All Internet Resources with Global Secure Access radio button. And finally, under Access Controls, configure Allow Access and Require a Compliant Device controls. Now, let's try to access a generic internet resource, such as Bing.com. We can see that universal conditional access will not let us access Bing.com or other internet resources because our device is not compliant. Let's fix that and update device compliance status. Access is quickly restored. Universal conditional access ensures that our users' ability to access the internet is limited to devices compliant with company policy. Universal Continuous Access Evaluation, or Universal CAE for short, ensures that the state change of the user identity results in a quick revalidation of the user's identity. For example, if a user's risk level changes, or if the administrator disables the user account, this is reflected very quickly, without the need to wait for the access token to expire. Universal CAE does not need to be enabled and will be soon available to all customers. Here, we have our end user navigating internet resources. Now, the administrator revokes the user's tokens and/or disables the user's account. You can see that very quickly, the user is prompted to re-authenticate. If the account is disabled, the network access is interrupted as the user has no way to log in again. In time-sensitive scenarios, such as access terminations, being able to interrupt network connectivity is very important, and Universal CAE helps accomplish that. Now, back to Frank.
Another unique feature of internet access is the ability to link conditional access to your network security policies, giving you a versatile tool that can adjust to different scenarios. You can now control access to any internet destination by applying CA controls to your secure web gateway policies, leveraging the rich context of conditional access. These policies could be used to allow access to specific websites for users or groups based on their role, or to block access to sensitive sites based on changes in risk, device compliance, or location. This provides organizations with flexibility based on their needs. Additionally, our solution introduces compliant network as a new signal and restores original source IP, allowing backward compatibility of CA controls, which Alex will cover in more detail later. Microsoft Entra Internet Access gives you complete control over the enforcement of your network security policies. You can create individual SWG policies that allow or block specific web categories or FQDNs and prioritize their order of execution. Then you can add your policies to a security profile that can be linked to a conditional access policy to bring in that context awareness. Security profiles are also organized with priority ordering, allowing imperative control over which profiles get precedence when an internet flow gets mapped to more than one CA context. For example, high user risk security profiles can be ordered at a higher priority versus user or group-based security profiles. Here you can see the network security capabilities we are delivering. The initial launch of our Internet Access solution is just the first step in our mission to deliver a complete network security toolset to help protect your organization. Currently, you can apply the contextual sophistication of conditional access to your secure web gateway policies like FQDN and web category filtering. In the near future, we're going to deliver more capabilities such as URL filtering, TLS inspection, and threat intelligence filtering to add additional protection to your users. Cloud firewall, network data loss prevention, intrusion detection and prevention, and anti-malware are all on the roadmap and will be added incrementally as we continue to develop our solution. Now let's take a look at how Microsoft Entra Internet Access can secure your users with our context-aware secure web gateway solution. In this example, we start with the configured baseline profile, which blocks bad and risky sites for everyone across the organization. You can see the set of baseline blocked destinations includes illegal software, adult, peer-to-peer, and download sites. With this policy in effect, we can see that a user is blocked from the peer-to-peer site cdar.cc. A more advanced capability of Internet Access is providing a single pane of glass by way of Entra ID conditional access policies. When a new employee in the finance department onboards to the finance org group, they're granted access to all SaaS and internet sites necessary to do their job, like SAP and other finance and business websites. You can perform this integration with Global Secure Access by navigating to Protection and Conditional Access, targeting a user or group with the Internet Access target resource, and using the Global Secure Access security profile session control in this conditional access policy. This deep Entra ID integration is even more powerful in the use of user risk provisions. For instance, we can create a policy blocking storage and business sites for a user with high user risk. You can see that in conditional access, this policy utilizes the high user risk condition to assign a security profile blocking this web category. Now, when an end user's user risk score increases to high due to suspicious API traffic for being detected in the MS graph, for example, they're now blocked from accessing sap.com. And now Alex will cover Internet Access capabilities for Microsoft applications.
Thanks, Frank. We have built enhanced security, visibility, and performance capabilities for Entra ID federated apps and Microsoft 365. With Internet Access, you get fast and secure access for all internet traffic, including Microsoft 365, boosting productivity for any user anywhere. We have deep integrations with Microsoft Entra ID, including capabilities like source IP restoration, token replay protection, and data exfiltration controls. And you have the flexibility to deploy these capabilities side by side with third-party network security solution of your choice. Let's take a deeper look into these capabilities. All our features for Microsoft 365 are rendered in co-location with the existing front doors for these services, reducing additional routing hop latency for the top productivity apps in your enterprise and ensuring best-in-class performance for Microsoft 365 applications. We also make it easy to acquire Microsoft 365 traffic using the Microsoft Traffic Profile, which is pre-populated with relevant IP ranges and FQDNs, enabling you to quickly direct Microsoft 365 traffic to our solution. With a third-party SSC provider, original source IP is obscured, resulting in a loss of log fidelity and degradation of conditional access and CAE controls. Because of our deep integrations with Entra ID, we proactively restore source IP, providing backward compatibility for IP location checks in conditional access. Source IP restoration also helps maintain fidelity in Microsoft Entra ID sign-in logs and in identity protection risk calculation for user risk and sign-in risk. Now, let's get into our enhanced security capabilities. With the rise of identity and token replay attacks, we have introduced new capabilities to help protect your organization and ensure your mobile workforce is secure. We provide token replay protection with a new compliant network check on the authentication plane for any Entra ID federated application, including Microsoft 365. The compliant network ensures users connect from a verified network connectivity model for the specific enterprise tenant and is compliant with all the network security policies that you've enforced. This check is similar yet more powerful than source IP and is much easier to manage and maintain without going through the cumbersome process of compiling a list of all your enterprise source IPs. You can protect your remote users from your branch office, their home location, or any other network. Let's pass it over to Samita for a demonstration.
Thanks, Alex. We can secure access to any Entra ID federated application by ensuring that users are coming from their compliant network. First, the admin will create a conditional access policy targeting the users of their choice, then targeting an Entra ID federated app such as Dropbox. Next, the admin will navigate to the Network tab of the Conditional Access Policy Builder and require that users within the tenant are coming from a compliant network location. This Network tab is a revision to the design of the Conditional Access Policy Builder, and the admin can navigate to conditions, then to locations, and configure the same controls there. In other words, this policy ensures that users have the Global Secure Access client installed on their device, or that they are on a Global Secure Access branch network, preventing token replay attacks from malicious users. Within the grant controls, the admin can block access to Dropbox if the user is not coming from a compliant network location. Now we can see that if a user without the Global Secure Access client tries to access Dropbox, they are blocked. This is because they failed to prove that they came from their tenant's compliant network. However, with the Global Secure Access client up and running, the user can successfully access the application. Back to Alex.
Thanks, Samhita. Another Entra ID integration we have is the ability to enable universal tenant restrictions to prevent data exfiltration by users leveraging foreign identities to access foreign tenants for all Microsoft Entra identity integrated resources. Tenant Restrictions version 2 provides granular controls for tenant, user, group, Microsoft account identity, and application level. Internet Access enforces tenant restrictions universally, so you no longer need to manage your local core proxies and hairpin internet traffic. Let me show you how this works. First, let's configure tenant restriction policies. In the Microsoft Entra admin portal, navigate to external identities and then cross-tenant access settings. On the default settings page, we will click the edit link under tenant restriction defaults and change the policy behavior to block external organizations by default. Then we will navigate to organizational settings page and add any organization that we want to explicitly allow. You can do that by typing in a verified domain name of that organization or a tenant ID. Since we configured our default tenant restrictions behavior as denied, we will change the inherited by default tenant restriction settings for that domain as explicitly allow. Lastly, we need to confirm that Entra Internet Access is configured to add tenant restriction signals under Global Secure Access, Settings, Session Management on the Universal Tenant Restrictions page. Now, user Alice from our organization will try to access SharePoint in an unauthorized tenant using credentials from that tenant. Universal Tenant Restrictions blocks that authentication attempt as we configure the default policy to block unknown or unauthorized tenants. Now, Alice will try different credentials, this time from a tenant that we have authorized explicitly. Universal Tenant Restrictions allows that access and presents the SharePoint landing page. Granular controls in TRV2 policies and cross-platform universal enforcement of these policies with Microsoft Entra Internet Access provides organizations with the ability to reduce the risk of unauthorized tenants and data exfiltration. Now, let's go over the visibility and performance benefits of our solution. With Microsoft Internet Access, we are introducing rich logging and reporting capabilities. Our data sources include metadata from Global Secure Access Client, network traffic logs, and policy enforcement logs flowing from our Secure Service Edge, activity logs from Microsoft 365 applications, as well as watch lists from various threat intelligence systems. We securely process and analyze this data to create insightful in-product reports and dashboards. Our landing dashboard page provides rich insights such as relationship maps between users, device and endpoints connected through Microsoft's SSE solution. We also show cross-tenant access taking place in your enterprise, as well as top network destinations in use. Soon, we will bring various policy recommendations and insights to you. We will also offer advanced app and network discovery capabilities and what-if scenario modeling. Apart from native reporting, we support extensive capabilities to export the data to various data sinks integrated with Azure Monitor. And we have connectors and workbooks for integration into relevant first-party and third-party SIEM and threat detection systems. This will facilitate advanced AI and ML-based detections to help with security investigations and threat hunting scenarios. Microsoft's hyperscale infrastructure runs across dozens of data centers and hundreds of edge locations around the world to ensure your users are always just milliseconds away from the nearest secure edge location. This is the same infrastructure that powers cloud services like Azure, Microsoft 365, Bing, and others. This vast wide area network infrastructure is owned and operated by Microsoft for exclusive use of services like Microsoft Entra Internet Access. We have thousands of peering relationships with internet providers and SaaS services, ensuring that your enterprise gets the best security with the best performance. We have launched multiple locations across North America and Europe and will continue to expand our service to other regions. In addition to performance, we have built multiple provisions to recover from a slim yet non-zero chance of hardware and software failure. A key provision here is the use of multiple redundant tunnels, enabling seamless recovery from failures or capacity spikes. Advanced traffic management algorithms and safe deployment procedures ensure that Microsoft Entra Internet Access is highly available, truly resilient infrastructure service that your enterprise can depend on. To learn more and sign up for product trials, please visit these resources and reach out to your Microsoft account team. Thank you for joining us today.